everyone. Greetings, everybody. I'm Pooja from the beautiful Spotless Skin team, welcoming all of you all. I'm hoping all of you all are keeping in good health with amazing skin that you all have. Welcome, everyone, to a special Instagram live session. And in this live session, we're going to be shedding light about a very important topic that affects millions of people worldwide. Acne is clearly not a surfacing issue. It can deeply impact one's emotional well being. And beyond just the physical blemishes, of course, it can erode somebody's self confidence, leading to anxiety, depression, and even social withdrawal. Acne vulgaris is a chronic condition affecting more than 85% of adolescents and young adults. Yet, despite its prevalence, there are still widespread misconceptions that we have around the stigmas around acne. That's why today's live session is aiming to dispel the myths around acne, promoting more understanding, and empowering our individuals to seek effective treatments. Today, we'll be diving into the topic of acne management with our skin expert. Whether you're struggling with a breakout yourself or simply curious about maintaining a good skin and healthy skin, this session will promise to give you all the information that you clearly need, and we're looking at engaging with you on all of this topic. Today, we are honored to introduce Dr. Dhanalakshmi, a renowned skin expert from Chennai. Dr. Dhanlakshmi is a distinguished dermatologist with a robust academic background, having completed her MBBS from Tanjavur Medical College and her MD in dermatology at Karbaka Vinayaga Institute of Medical Sciences and Research Center. She brings a wealth of knowledge and expertise to her role. Based in Chennai, Dr. Dhanalakshmi has made significant contributions to dermatology through her clinical work, her research, and publications. This is all solidifying her reputation as a leader in the field today. We're completely privileged to have her with us, and she'll be sharing insights on acne and its management. We extend a heartfelt gratitude to you, Doctor, for joining us. And without much of ado, let's kickstart today's session to know a lot about what is acne and what are the different types of acne lesions.
Hello, Anchor. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to join with you all. And as you said, we'll start as such without any more build-ups. So, what is acne? Acne is nothing but a disease of oil-secreting glands, which is present in all our body, including face, chest, back, and also the scalp. Most of the time, this is very common. As you said, 80% of teenage people, even acne. Previously, we used to say the acne is more common with our adolescents and adults. Up to the age of 30 years, it will clear off. This is what we were telling previously. But now it has extended beyond 40 years also. Without any reason, we have the acne called adult acne. So there are so many factors, including internal like genetic factors and external factors. What we use, what we consume, everything predisposes to acne. And types of acne, as a simplified version, we know acne we have pores like open and closed pore. If only the patient has these things, we call it as comedonal acne. Along with it, if there is an inflammation with a papule, a small elevated lesion, or a pustule, a pus-filled lesion, or a nodule is a bigger cyst or nodule or cyst, that will be a bigger lesion obscuring the total appearance of the skin. So according with the level of lesion, we can classify into mild one, which has only the comedones, that is closed and open pores, along with few of papules. If it is a moderate one, more of papules and pustules, which minimal comedones, that is inflammatory reaction, that is a activity or severity is increasing. The total severe form is with nodules and cysts, with totally changing the appearance, that is a severe grade of acne. This is how we classify clinically. According to the classification, everything differs.
Clearly, Doctor. Doctor, another question that I had in my mind is, does specific areas of face acne mean specific causes also?
Most of the time, the acne can involve the whole of the face, chest, and also back. So if you want to check out with a specific areas of face, many people will have the forehead acne. That is, when there is a forehead acne, most common in the adolescence, probably they would have the associated seborrheic dermatitis or dandruff, what we commonly call. When the dandruff is there, they can get more of the acne lesions over the forehead and also over the back. And another one thing we need to notice, the jaw line or the lower part of the jaw, if the acne and pimples are more and more, always we need to think of hormonal induced acne or hormonal damaged acne. So when you suspect that type of acne, if you can suspect in a case when there is the acne appearing for the first time in the adult stage, like more than 30-35 years, and in the facial hair is increasing, particularly over the upper lips and the chin. So these indicates the hormonal imbalance. So these are the most specific. And sometimes when the patient is using more of oily product on the skin, they can have a different type of blocked acne over the mainly over the cheeks wherever they use more of the oily preparations.
Okay, so clearly the face is the map of a lot of issues that we're having within the body. So watch out for the signs. Where are you getting the acne and get it treated right? Doctor, I've also heard about there are different grades of acne. So what is that clearly?
So the what we commonly call it as what I told is a mild, moderate, severe that can be graded as grade 1 to 4. So one is a minimal acne with only the comedones and few papules. 4 is the severe one with a nodulocystic because the treatment differs according to the acne types. If it is a grade 1 acne, only general measures with topical treatment is enough. But in case of severe acne, we need to start on the oral treatments like oral medication, oral tablets. We need sometimes we need to combine the procedures along with the oral and topical medications also. To grade acne is to give the proper treatment to the patient. That is more important.
Okay. So, doctor, are there different treatments as you mentioned for each grade? So, do you want to highlight what are the kind of procedures and treatments for different grades?
Actually, for grade 1 acne, which is very common with adolescents,
Mhm.
and this one, we need only topical treatment. That also we can't tell. We need to only give topical treatment.
Mhm.
So grade 1 is nothing but comedones. So, like for comedonal acne, the topical treatments are we have retinoids and benzoyl peroxide. Topical creams are available, but you
Okay.
can't deny them the procedure because nowadays what we are seeing is for the treatment part, not
Yeah.
only the grade of the acne, but the psychological aspect of acne is also important. The
Yeah.
patient is very much psychologically affected. They tend to excoriate it, pluck the acne more and more, so that will
Yeah.
lead on to scarring. So, first and foremost reason why we treat acne is to prevent the scarring. So, if the patient is prone for scarring, even with a grade 1 acne, we need to go for the explicit procedures like comedone extraction. When the comedones are there, we can just extract the inside. Well, one cheesy material will be there. We can properly sterilized and extract it. That can be done by procedures like microdermabrasion. Sometimes with the chemical peels also will do for grade 1 acne. If it
So clearly, different kinds of acne treatments for different grades, and analyzing which grade is essential. So make sure you do not just go ahead and do an over-the-counter treatment for any specific acne. It's essential that you define the right grade, speaking to your doctor because they are the ones who can really guide you very well. So make sure you reach out to your doctor, and that's clearly what Dr. Dhanlakshmi was also highlighting, because we can't define the procedure and the treatment until we know the right grade. Also, the skin type matters a lot, that we understand. An oily skin will have a different sort of skincare treatment. A dry skin will have something different. So ensure that you know your skin type, right? And consult the doctor so that you're not overdoing anything which is not meant to be done, very clearly. So acne is not clearly a disease. What I really know about acne treatment is that you can get your acne treatment done, and acne can go away. It's not something that is going to stick with you through your life. So don't worry. I know it psychologically affects us a lot, the way we appear. Anything on the face, anything on the body can really, really pull our self confidence down. So don't worry about it. Just get the right treatment done so that you're not over abusing with drugs and your skin is not turning very sensitive. And this was my personal experience as well. Like, I tried to do over the counter treatment, and what happened at the end is that I made my skin more sensitive. And by the time I reached the doctors, I had probably got immune to a lot of medication which had probably been used incorrectly. So I know we all hear a lot of cues from people that this worked for me, that worked for me, but what worked for your friend may probably not work for you. So make sure that you do not define your treatment, and don't take acne very lightly. Like, I understand, you could have one or two breakouts, and we don't really worry about the basic breakouts. But if acne is really prolonged and probably seen in different parts of the body, there can be something underlying which needs to be addressed. So getting the right treatment done at the right time from the right doctor is what I would suggest. While our doctor obviously joins in, I think she's lost connectivity, which is why we can't see her at the moment. But while she comes back, I'd really like y'all to know one of my personal experiences. So I was dealing with acne rosacea. Now, acne rosacea is slightly different from acne vulgaris, which we're talking in this session. So this happened because of weather changes. So my job literally involved me to travel a lot from, out of India. I used to be in a really hot climate in Dubai, or either commute to London where it's completely a winter and icy cold environment. That's where continuous change of weather is where I started getting acne. And this acne was very weird. Like, before I could even treat it, like one acne on the right cheek, the other on just right besides it. So one acne used to come in, stay there for a week, and then the second acne. Hello, doctor. Thank you and
I'm
welcome back.
sorry, some technical hitches. My laptop got suddenly shut down. Sorry for the interruption.
No worries. I was actually sharing them my personal experience of having acne rosacea and how it literally pulled my self confidence down. I couldn't really get the right treatment at the right time. I was going with over the counter treatments, and I was just suggesting everyone to not go ahead and get yourself treated, because getting to the doctor is essential in
That
getting your
is true.
treatment right.
Definitely, that is true because so many OTC treatment like applying a toothpaste, applying turmeric.
Yeah,
At least I can accept it's an antiseptic.
yeah.
Charcoal application in a sensitive skin, and even lemon, ginger, garlic paste. Everything they have used. So we used to see a lot of patients with this thing. So before applying thing, your skin is very sensitive. This is going to be a barrier for everything, each and everything. So be careful and take care of your skin properly. Otherwise, it will be a permanent mark in the last at last.
Clearly, doctor. And I think you just mentioned about sensitive skin, doctor. So anything specific about acne treatment for sensitive skin?
Same sensitive skin. Accordingly, we have to titrate the medications. What are the medications? Because in case of topical medication, we have irritant potential. So for the comedones, we used to give retinoids and benzoyl peroxide. Both are highly irritant one. So when you prescribe a irritant type of topical lesion, topical preparation, so you need to take care of the skin with giving a proper moisturizer, gel-based moisturizer and a gel-based sunscreen to protect them from the sensitive skin. And also, if you are going for the any procedures like chemical peels, so most of the chemical peels will most of the time for active acne, what we use is a chemical peel that will act on the follicular unit, that is hair and oil producing glands. In that case, there will be some amount of sensitivity will be there. So we need to tell them avoid plucking the area and avoid scratching the area, rubbing the area. These are the smaller things And according to the skin type, we can prescribe the cosmeceuticals like moisturizers, sunscreen, normal cleansers, sensitive cleansers are there. So that we can change accordingly to the skin type, and the patient can continue with the treatment.
Right. So, doctor, I think you were just mentioning about cleansing. So, I think there's a lot of popular conversation about cleansing, toning, moisturizing, sunscreen. So, what is that daily practice and routine that our viewers should follow to have this beautiful skin that we're all dreaming to have?
So you are told the correct order, because if the order is changed, most of the times they'll be like cleanse with a normal cleanser according to your skin type. When you have a sensitive skin, so you can go for a lotion based or cleanser. For a oil based skin, it's a foam cleanser is better. The cleansing is not like rubbing your skin all over the face, rubbing and scrubbing. You have to avoid scrubbing. So always take a lather of the product, the cleanser, slide mildly with your fingertip. You can give a circular motion all over the face for 30 seconds to 1 minute, and wash off with this one. If you're wearing a makeup or heavy makeup, you have the practice of doing your makeup properly, then you have to double cleanse. Otherwise, single cleansing is enough if you're just having your moisturizer and sunscreen. The second step is toner. Toner, I don't suggest to use it daily. So you can use a weekly, twice or thrice, and followed by moisturizer. Moisturizer for oily skin, we used to give a gel-based moisturizer, which should not occlude the pores, that is follicular units. If it occludes, the acne will be more and more. So you have to use a light moisturizer. If it is a dry and sensitive skin, we can go for lotion or cream-based moisturizer, followed by the sunscreen. Sunscreen also varies according to the uh, type of the skin. If it is a sensitive skin, mostly we'll go for physical sunscreen that will block the UV rays from entering the skin. If it is for the acne prone skin, that will be like patchy life. Nowadays, physical blocker also comes in gel formulation, so that will be better for oil based skin.
Right. So, doctor, we're talking about tropical skincare, and I have some questions which are related to that. But before jumping to the tropical treatment, I want to know how much is hydration really important? And I just sipped a bit of water as well to just ask my doctor, what is hydration really helping in acne management?
Actually, hydration, because our body is made up of 70% of water. If you don't hydrate, the dehydrating skin will be rough and flaky, and medication, if you want to use on the face, that is going to irritate you. So not only hydration, and also you need to take a plenty of vitamins. Mainly if you have acne, try to include in your food at least vitamin A, vitamin C, and vitamin E. Vitamin A, as you all know, it is a most of the topical medications are vitamin A derivatives. So if you take it internally, that is also going to act on it. C and E both are antioxidant that will rejuvenate your skin. Along with hydration is the first and foremost thing for every skin disease, that you need to hydrate properly. Approximately 3 to 3.5 liters of water. It may vary according to the weather. It may increase, not to you should not decrease the water intake. And
Absolutely.
also, many of the patients tell, I take plenty of water, but they used to drink 1 liter water at a time. I don't suggest that. Take sips of water or little bit of per hour, 100 ml of water. That is fine. Not taking the whole gulp of water. That I don't suggest.
That's quite an informative tip, doctor. So a few more questions coming in the chat window. Very interesting to see. I'd like to pick up the first question from Ayushi. She says, "Are there any benefits of using acne fighting masks?" We're talking about tropical skincare, so acne fighting masks, do they really help?
Actually, to some extent, they'll decrease the skin and give you a clear skin for instant. That is a transient. It's not a permanent effect.
Yeah.
So it is like for like going to a party or something. If you wear the mask, you'll see that the oiliness is not there. There will be a dry touch, fair skin. So fairly enough, many of the masks, sheet masks, so many things are available, which is not greasy and not making your skin very dry. You can use it. Not an issue.
Right. So a quick fix, Ayushi, acne fighting mask can help, but it's not your permanent solution for
Yeah.
your acne fighting treatment, clearly. Another follow up question with a tropical treatment and care. It's from Nikita. She says, can excessive washing of the face worsen the acne?
Definitely. Because we have natural moisturizing factors on the skin which helps to prevent which maintains the barrier. So if you
Yeah.
go on cleansing your skin with the harsh chemicals or the normal chemicals also, so
Mhm.
the natural moisturizing factor and also the barrier function of the skin is damaged, so anything can enter and irritate the skin. Whatever you use, no commonly used cosmeceutical products also can irritate the skin. So wash your face with a cleanser. If in a humid climate, I used to suggest maximum 3 times. Usually 2 times of day is enough for cleansing, not more than that.
Clearly. So, Nikita, thank you very much for that question because it's really breaking the myth. People say that, oh, my face is oily and I need to keep washing it. But just washing it again is not your solution. You
You're not
don't
going
need
to
to
you are
do that.
injuring the skin and making the acne worsen.
Yeah. So go to the washroom, clean your face only thrice a day, not more than that. Doctor, another very important question that is battling with most of our teenagers and our audience. It's from Pooja. Can acne be linked to other conditions like PCOS?
Definitely. That is what I call the hormonal acne. When you
Yeah.
get nowadays, many of the girls in teenage with obesity because of food intake, junk foods, junk foods, junk foods everywhere. So
Yeah.
the healthy food habit is what important, and importantly the exercise. Uh, we have made them to sit in front of the gadgets and seeing the gadgets throughout the day, and they are not going out to play. In our days, we were pulled inside home
Yeah.
not to go out, but nowadays we are throwing the kids away, go play somewhere. But it's
Yes.
not happening. These are the two factors that is leading on to obesity. Obesity can induce PCOS at the age of puberty, from the pubertal age also. So because of the hormonal imbalance, you can get the active acne more at the earlier age, and it may continue over the over 35 years also, and also associated symptoms like obesity, darkening of the neck, what we call it as acanthosis, darkening of the all the flexures like neck, underarms, your thighs, and also excessive hair growth at abnormal sites like a male pattern over the mustache area, beard area, and between the breast and over the abdomen also. These are the changes you can get along with acne. Then we have to suspect PCOS is the most commonest cause of acne related conditions.
Clearly. Doctor, just when you were mentioning this, is has rheumatism got to do anything with PCOS? Like I know there's a link, but do you think that has a link to this and acne?
Yeah, definitely. PCOS, it's a hormonal imbalance between the estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen reduces the pimples, progesterone aggravates. When there is an imbalance between these two hormones, they can aggravate. That is like they will convert into testosterone derivatives like DHEAs, dihydroepiandrosterone. So this will thin your hair on the scalp and thicken your hair on the face. So which we don't need. We want it reverse.
Clearly, that's completely a different conversation from acne to hair, but fair enough. Well highlighted, doctor. Another question from Meenal. She says, is it possible for acne to improve with age?
Previously, we were thinking that age will reduce acne because hormonal imbalance will settle by its own, but it is not so nowadays because we are seeing first time acne at the age of 40, 45 also. One is cosmetic usage. So, use a cosmetic which is suitable to your skin, select it, don't go by the prescription of your neighbor or your friend or from the Instagram. Just go check by yourself. When you have a doubt, consult your dermatologist and start on cosmetics. That may induce an acne. Acne can occur anywhere because from the infancy to the elderly also.
Clearly. So, doctor, we understood a lot about taking care of our skin, about symptoms, about the grades, but What about the treatment and the procedures? What are the procedures that are clearly available with doctors with different types of acne that we're dealing with?
Before going into the procedures, you need to tell the patient about the food intake, what are all the things, don'ts more than do's. So
Clearly.
one thing is avoid high calorie diet intake. High calories, even the fried items. I used to say, tell to my patient, avoid three whites. One is sugar based that will increase the glycemic index abruptly, so that will lead on to insulin resistance. That can increase the acne. So that one. Next one is maida products. So these are the things in junk foods. The third one is milk products, because I don't tell them to restrict in normal whole milk. At least twice a day, 2 glasses of milk is okay, and buttermilk is better. But other
Yeah.
than the cheese, butter, ghee, and even paneer is controversial. That increases the acne. In some patients, they improve with restriction of these foods. They improve. So the one thing. Another one is, as you asked, the hydration part. So
Yeah.
properly hydrate properly your body, the skin also will shine. And along with that, try to take a proper food, at least with containing vitamin A, C, and E. And stop plucking your acne. That will lead on to scars, which is very much resistant to treatment. So you need to spend a lot of money more than spending for acne. So try not to pick it, and don't apply any native medication, because all the available native medication, whichever you feel, it is natural, so it won't harm your skin. No, not like that. Many of the products what we use is extracted from the plants, so you have to use it judiciously. So properly, if you have any experience, some is okay. Some DIY preparation you can take, but not the irritants. So, like for example, if you are using like cream for your pigmentation, that's fine. It contains lactic acid, and some amount it is fine. If your skin is normal, that you can take, but not everything will suit you. So, don't try to take all those things. And another important point is sleep. So proper sleep. So if you're on mobile or on the gadgets more and more, your acne will aggravate. It won't reduce. So the blue light will induce acne, and also it may induce pigmentation also. So try to restrict your screen time. At least I used to tell, avoid screen time before going to sleep, at least 1 to 2 hours before going to sleep. Any type of screen, even television, laptops, or mobiles, because we used to have the habit of scrolling and seeing everything, so we get
Yeah.
addicted. That is because the blue light will activate your brain, and that will disturb the sleep pattern. If the sleep pattern is disturbed, the stress increases. The stress will induce acne. And
Clearly. I think
avoid,
technology.
yeah, avoid stress, mainly because in many of the patients we have seen, because of depression and stress, the acne increases. If it is so, we'll refer to the psychiatrist. These are the and food and exercise. At least try to do some exercise minimally, like walking half an hour per day. These are the healthy lifestyle changes which we used to suggest. After that, we'll go for the procedures. The topical medication we talked about. For procedural base, we have so many options available, from light based therapies like intense pulse therapy, blue light or red light therapies. And for active acne, we have chemical peels like salicylic acid, glycolic acid peels. So according to the indication, if the patient has a active acne with pigmentation, we'll choose some peel. So if only they have only active acne, we have some other peels. Even the procedures lasers also will work in case of active acne and acne scars or acne pigmentation. So many options are available, but with a consultation of the dermatologist, you go for the treatment.
Clearly. So there are a lot of treatments that are available if you're battling with acne, but of course, the first step is to have your clean and healthy diet, try and reduce the stress, minimize the screen time. There are so many things that we can do to avoid acne in the first place, but if in case you've gone wrong and you've got acne, we have a treatment for it. Great. Doctor, two more things coming to my mind. Of course, screen time and all of that is okay. But what about our makeup? Is that also worsening acne?
That's what I told you previously. Choose your makeup wisely, not from the advice from your friends,
Yeah.
relatives, neighbors, or from the apps. Just go for it, try it, just see. Because if I have a oily, if I go for the oily makeup or oily facial, anything oily, in another, not even oily makeup. For facial, if I go, they used to do scrubbing process. I tell
Yeah.
don't do it because
Yeah.
I know my skin is very sensitive. I used to get the acne the very next day itself. So you should know acne. You should know your skin better. You know how to choose the products. Try it.
Yeah.
If you have a doubt, I don't know whether it is useful or not. Try on the lower hairline or in the neck a patch test, one by one patch. You try it up for a week. If there is no reaction, you can definitely use the cosmetic products, but don't layer it too much of layering.
Okay.
Make it as a simple layering. So
Yeah.
we can go for makeup, but use a simple layering
Right.
according to your. If you need a concealer, other than that, you can do liquid foundation, and
Mhm.
this one is enough. Not like too much of layering, like
Yeah.
the teenage kids are doing. No, so they'll do so much of thing. Because I have a girl at home.
I
I
can
used to tell
understand.
whatever I suggest to others, she's not going to listen to me also sometimes.
Really. I think the new generation is also trying, the Insta generation is also trying the filters. So they have no makeup, the filters adding the makeup. So try that if that's what you're looking at. Add a filter if you're getting on virtually, you're gonna look pretty without actually adding more makeup to your skin. But of
But
course, then
most of the time you won't be in Insta. You have to go out. No, you have to face people.
for
That
that
you have
you
to
need to
wear a
have
makeup.
clear skin. And for that you need to have good diet, good healthy practices like how doctors mentioned. Doctor, one more question. I know you highlighted about sunscreen and moisturizer, but anything specific that we can tell our viewers that what is the tag or something that they need to look at when they're choosing a moisturizer and sunscreen?
Moisturizer only according to the skin type. Okay,
Okay.
moisturizer and the contents. So ceramides will be like ceramide based moisturizer will be apt for all over the body. If you
Mhm.
have a sensitive skin, cream or lotion base is better. For others also, if they have a sensitive skin, ceramide based moisturizer will do. But most of the acne prone skin will be oily, so they have to go for the gel based moisturizer, which should
Okay.
not contain too much of butters for face.
Right. Right.
One thing.
Yeah. And
Next,
sunscreen, anything specific?
sunscreens, you have to look into two things. One is SPF, what we look into. SPF is for UVB protection, that is protecting from inside. So
Mhm.
that is one, that at least it has to have 30, minimally
Okay.
30. And next one you have to look into is PA factor.
Okay.
So many of the patients complain of tanning after using sunscreen
Yeah.
because the PA factor, which is important for UVA, which is main factor that causes tanning. So you have to look into these things. PA at least has to be 3 plus.
Okay.
And the third one is the formulation. Cream,
Yes.
lotion, gel, sprays I don't suggest.
Okay.
For face, oily prone skin, gel. And if you want a lighter touch, gel will be the better one. If you have a dry and sensitive skin, creams or lotion will be better. According to the area, you have to. For the body, if you are using for the hands and all, lotion will be, the spreadability will be better. And
Yes.
and use a right amount. That is more important. So if you are taking just yeah, 2 fingers, so that much you need to apply. And in a sunscreen application, every sunscreen will be oily on applying. So wait for 5 to 10 minutes. Let it settle down. Then apply your compact powder or whatever it is. Because every patient will be like, on applying, I'll feel the oiliness, so I don't want to apply. Oiliness will be there after 5 to 10 minutes. It will settle down. So that's why we used to say, you apply the sunscreen just 15 minutes prior to exposure, prior to going in. This is why. This also will settle down, and also that will chemical sunscreen need time to act. So that time we need to do.
Awesome. So I think, Doctor, you answered the question that Ashu has mentioned to us. She's saying that is it necessary to use sunscreen if I have acne? So I think you've answered the question,
Definitely.
but yes.
Definitely, because most of the time when you are using retinoids, we are damaging little bit amount of skin. It is irritating. When the underlying layer of skin is exposed, there is chances of pigmentation will be more. So it's better to use a sunscreen to reduce, to avoid the pigmentation. It's a preventive measure.
Okay. So, Ashu, come what may, sunscreen is important. You're not running away from it. The formulation can change, so make sure you ask your doctor which one suits you the best. Doctor, another question from Raj. I'm happy to see a guy asking a question in the chat window. He says,
No.
how can I? Yeah, it's good. All my females, and then I have a male asking in that too. Raj, thank you very much for asking a question. He says, how can I reduce the acne related redness that I'm facing?
Acne related redness, there are two types. One is if he has active acne, the treatment itself reduce the redness. Second one is the topical treatment induced redness. Then he has to choose a formulation which is less irritative, and the contact time should be gradually increased. For example, if you are giving retinoids topical formulation, we used to tell half an hour you apply, wash it off. Gradually, we increase the duration. So, if he is mentioning about acne rosacea, the treatment options are different. So, he has not mentioned it properly, might be out of these three. So, he need a proper consultation with the dermatologist before starting anything. And moreover, yeah, as you said, it is not so. Males are equally conscious about their face and beauty, not
Very
only
good.
the girls.
Very good. And skin is for everyone, right? You don't need to be
Yeah.
conscious only being a female or a male. You can be anyone and take care of your good skin. Doctor, I'm waiting for a few more questions to come in the chat window, but anything else that you want to highlight about this topic while we've covered a lot of stuff around acne?
Actually, I want to share patient some fun facts regarding while treating the patient,
Yeah.
because I learned something from the patient also. I
Okay.
used to explain the patient how much we need to apply the ointments. Previously, in the starting point, I used to say you take a little bit, like a pepper size amount, and make it as a small dots, apply evenly. This is what I
Yes.
used to tell for the
Yeah.
one patient. Within 2 days of application, she came back. She had full of erythema, full of redness, swelling, everything was there. I was surprised. How much you used, ma? I asked for the tube. She showed the tube. She has used it properly only. Then I had like, what is going on? What is wrong? Whether the medication is wrong? I was thinking more and more. Then I asked her, how did you apply? Then she told, I took a pepper, grind it, I mixed it with a cream and applied it. I said, then I stopped to apply pepper sized medication. I started showing them this much amount of medication you have to take and apply. Like there's so many fun facts, well, because in front of them we can't laugh also because they'll
Yes.
hurt. So many things. And like this, managing teenage girls is one of the toughest job, because they
Yes.
use everything, each and everything on the face, layering with so many. If you ask me, I have come up with a girl around 17 years, and she has been using some serums of 7 to 8 serums on the face. I was asking, how is it possible to apply? For me, night applying on retinol serum, I used to forget. Weekly twice
Yes.
only I apply. But
Yes.
how is this possible? She was telling, morning I'll apply this. First I'll apply this serum. Wait for 10 minutes. Again I'll apply this. On top of it, sunscreen. I was like, your skin is like, so I pity your skin. So
Less.
limit your
Yes.
serum usage according to your skin. Teenage skin is different from the adult skin. So we need to give them a proper serum. Like if you have a oiliness, we'll give niacinamide serum, one or two. Don't apply on the skin because somebody has told.
Yeah.
So at least start with one. Let us see whether it acts or not. Then stop it. You can change it. So don't apply too many serums on your face.
So I
Serums
think
or
that's a very
creams.
important topic that you highlighted about serums because they're going so popular on Instagram. Like I know hyaluronic, niacinamide, retinol. There is so much vitamin C. So
Yeah.
there are so many popular things that are going around, and then there are combination of these three also into one serum. So can you highlight something on those lines, Doctor? While I do have 4 more follow-up questions in the chat window, but something on the serums, Doctor.
Serums actually for oily and acne prone skin, salicylic acid serum 1 to 2 percentage, which is
Okay.
available in the cosmetic market, that can be
Mhm.
used as a face wash or serum also. And the one is for oiliness and pigment reduction, niacinamide up to 10%, because most of the cosmeceuticals which have they claim to be 10%, it won't be at around 5%.
Yeah.
That will be fine. For pigmentation, liquorice based serums. Now, azelaic acid based serums also coming up, which is
Yeah.
for therapeutic use only. Please don't use it on your own. Another thing is hyaluronic acid. It's a good moisturizing factor. So when you have a dry skin, and also for under eyes, I used to suggest hyaluronic acid as a gel base or cream based rather than serums. Serum is just application is easier, so nighttime. So after that, what other serums we have?
Glycolic.
Tranexamic acid, glycolic.
Glycolic. Yeah.
Yeah, glycolic. It's a home-based peels and serums are available up to 3 to 5, maximum 6%. It is okay. Gentle exfoliant. You can use it occasionally, but not on a regular basis. If you have any problem with the pigmentation, you can go for glycolic, kojic acid serums. Vitamin
Yes.
C is a very good antioxidant, but one thing, it has a irritant potential, and also it may induce acne also. One more thing about vitamin C is, please don't apply vitamin C serum on in the mornings. Because it is a heat labile vitamin. So when exposed to sunlight, it will degrade, it will become oxidative material and will damage the skin. So it's better use it at night. What
Very, very
other
informative. Very
what
informative.
other serums we have? I'm thinking.
I think
Uh,
it's just going popular, and people are trying to take care of their skin, spending a lot of money, and actually abusing their skin with too much of external
That's
stuff.
what you spend money worthwhile. Consult a dermatologist. Have a minimal skincare routine. That will be a
Yeah.
better thing.
Yeah.
Not going for more and more of serums, more and more of moisturizer, so many packs. Rather than that, have a simple routine which you can follow. One is
Yes.
cleansing, moisturizing, and sunscreen. In this,
Yeah.
I skip moisturizer also most of the times, because
Okay.
our area is a very humid climate, because
Yes.
my skin is a very oily one, so many times I won't need a moisturizer for my face, so I skip that also. According to the needs, we have to titrate and give the patient the proper one.
Clearly. So, Doctor, last 2 questions in the chat window. And Rashmi asks that can acne treatment cause skin irritation?
Yeah, as I told, if not properly used, I've given you the about the pepper example. No, that's the simple thing. So if you give the patient, so like retinoids, if you give the patient, we need to tell it as a take it as a little bit amount. If they take this much amount, definitely the irritation will be there. So use a proper quantity for a proper time limit. You won't get the irritation. So if we found the irritation is there, we can have the adjuvants like moisturizer along with the retinoid, because retinoid dermatitis is more common. When you start using retinoids like tretinoin, adapalene, so many will be using. So
Yeah.
on by the end of second week, we'll know whether they are getting it or not. So that time, if we review, we can add on the adjuvants.
Okay. So, Rashmi, I hope you got the answer to your question. If your skin is getting irritated, make sure you get the right set of moisturizer and any sort of treatment that your skin needs. Last question from Lucky. And the question is, can certain fabrics also irritate and cause acne?
Yeah, this is mainly for back acne.
Yeah.
So back acne, when the like if it is a cotton based material, the aeration will be there. When the humidity and the heat inside the skin increases, there might be occlusion of the hair follicle. So the whatever the tighter materials, woolens, or in the humid climate, if you're wearing a non-breathable cloths like synthetic ones or sportswear, nylon wear, may sometimes cause because of the occlusiveness.
Okay. Right. So luckily, I hope the answer is right here for you. And doctor, I just wanted to really thank you because we've highlighted a lot about acne and its treatment. Any other closing messages that you want to share with us?
Closing messages: just treat the acne at the first moment itself, because our goal is to reduce the side effects or the complications like acne scarring, acne scar from pigmentation to deeper scars. So if you don't want those scars, treat it early. And another thing is, have a proper diet, sleep pattern, and also a little bit of exercise to your body. And main thing is, avoid junk foods and don't use anything like a natural product or anything on the skin, like, as I said, toothpaste, lemon. These are the things are not good for your skin. It'll damage, irritate. And also, don't go for too much of cosmeceuticals. Limit your products and have a bare minimum for a skincare routine. This will help you to glow better.
Awesome. I think that was pretty informative. And with that, we wrap up this session with Dr. Dhanalakshmi. Thank you very much, Doctor, for your valuable time. It was clearly a very interactive and an informative session for our viewers and for me as well. So we really look forward for many more such sessions for our viewers in coming time. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining in and staying participated throughout the session. Please stay connected and have this beautiful spotless skin page up here for you to follow us for more. Thank you.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to interact with you all. Thank you, Anchor Pooja, for making it as a lively session. Thank you so much.